Alright guys, got some more Pokemon Showdown for you, and today we're going to be doing 3 more matches. I'm not sure, I think one of them is NU and the other 2 are OU, we'll have to see. But as you can see, I'm facing off against this guy here who has a Sunny Day team, and the main threat is obviously going to be either Sawsbuck or Venusaur. Mainly Venusaur because Venusaur can do some massive damage to this team. I'm running my Rain Dance team, so I really have to make sure he doesn't get up his Sun, or I can at least take out his Ninetales before the Sun actually stays permanently. So let's see if I can win the Weather War. So he's gonna lead off with his Venusaur. I'm gonna lead off with my Politoed. He probably expected that, so I'm gonna make the switch. Actually, I'm gonna take a Giga Drain. I don't know why I took a Giga Drain, but I see these Life Orb. I'm just gonna go for the Ice Beam. I think I may have predicted him to switch. I don't even know why I would, but get an Ice Beam in. Now I'm gonna decide to switch out. I think I go to my Esselgore. Yeah, I do, because Esselgore can take hits pretty well, except for Sludge Bomb, which absolutely destroys this thing. So I know that I'll outspeed because of Esselgore's high speed. I go for the Bug Buzz, and it does 31%, so I can kind of see that this is not a... Actually, it could be a special... It's not really a special defensive Ninetales if it takes a Bug Buzz like that. So I go to my Dragonite, as he goes for the Will-O-Wisp, and he gets the burn, and I'm like... it doesn't bother me too much, mainly because I'm a mixed Dragonite, but it's still kind of annoying anyway. So he goes out to his Charizard, as I go for the Draco and just get a clean OHKO right off the bat, which is great. So I take that out in one hit, and I can at least be happy with that I'm at least a Pokemon up at this point, despite having a Burn Dragonite, which I'm really going to have to use for special attacks. So he goes to his Sawsbuck, so I know that's going to be a bit of a big hitter. Goes for the return, doesn't take me out. I know one Mach Punch from Technician Breloom is going to take that out, so I go for that. Despite losing my own Breloom to Life Orb, it's still worth it to get Sawsbuck out of the way and get a massive threat out of there. So it goes to Arcanine. I'm gonna go to Politoed. I think I'll make the switch out to Swampert, because I know Swampert can wall the crap out of Arcanine as he goes for the extreme speed. Look at that damage. Swampert with max defense, max HP is an absolute beast. So he goes out into his Venusaur as I go for the EQ, take out Venusaur. That's the 2 threats I think at least taken care of. And there's not really much he can do because his Swampert, my Swampert walls the rest of his Pokemon. So he just decides to forfeit, which was pretty good for me. I was actually sitting kind of comfortable once I took out his Venusaur and his Sawsbuck, so that was actually a bit quicker than I expected. So we're going to squeeze in another 2 battles, so let's get into this. Alright, so as you can see, we're using a Sandstorm team here, and this guy has absolutely no weather at all, so that's a good setup for me. But again, his team is sort of helped by the Sandstorm, especially his Skarmory and his Mamoswine, because they will get the defense increase and stuff, so that's pretty bad. But Blissey is always annoying because of its max special defense, as well as Tentacruel. Zatu because it has, is it Wonder Guard, or is it, I think, Magic Bounce, that bounces, I think it's Magic Bounce. Magic Bounce, that brings the stuff back to you, or the, you can't set up hazards, it'll just get bounced back. So that sort of sucks, even though I only have Stealth Rocks on this team. And then Breloom is always just, Breloom, it's always pretty annoying. So I think there's a part in this battle where it stalls a little bit, so I'm going to actually speed it up at that part, or just skip ahead a few turns. It's pretty much me just going for Earthquake on his Blissey, him using Soft Boil, me going for Earthquake, Soft Boil, until I eventually make the switch. So yeah, let's just get into the battle. I'm going to lead off with Infernape because it is Choice Banded. I can just go for the U-turn if there's something or not that I don't want to go against, but I decided to go for the Fire Punch right off the bat. It is Iron Fist Choice Band, so it's going to do decent enough damage to Tentacruel. Not a lot, but still decent. Considering Tentacruel has a lot of bulk, it's not going to do massive damage, but it still gets off a nice 30%. So I got into my Gyarados to take the Surf. Here I should have went for the Substitute, if I'm honest. I don't even think I have Substitute. I think I have a Waterfall, Earthquake, Bounce, and Dragon Dance, so I don't even have Substitute, so I have to take a Toxic. If I went for Substitute, probably would have been a little bit smarter, but that's my own problem for having Earthquake, I think. Usually I just have Bounce and Waterfall, but I decided to go with Earthquake this time. So he goes to his Mamoswine, I go for the Bounce. Should have went for the Waterfall, but again, I didn't. I was kind of thinking he wouldn't switch. He had no real reason to switch unless I was going to go for Earthquake, which is what he was probably expecting. So I go for the Bounce and get the Paralysis in on Skarmory, which isn't bad at all. Skarmory is, despite being paralyzed, it's still a threat. It's so defensive and stuff, but the problem this guy has is I have a Gyarados with 1 Dragon Dance set up, which is actually a handful for a lot of teams, because Gyarados, even if it gets up 1 DD, it's very, very powerful. So I go for the Waterfall, takes 70% off his Blissey, go for the Waterfall and switch into Breloom, takes off 31%, as this is a Poison Heal Breloom, I think, or is it, yeah, Poison Heal or whatever. So his Toxic Orb activates, obviously, he goes for the Substitute, and he's going to get HP back now from Poison Heal. I'm down to like 1 HP with Gyarados, so I decided to just take out his Waterfall. I was thinking about going for Bounce because I know that would be quite effective and would take it out, but I just decided to take out his Waterfall. Or not, take out his Substitute with Waterfall, and at least get the kind of threatening Breloom out of the way. So we got to my Infernape as he goes for the switch into his Tentacruel. I go for the U-turn this time, actually predicting him to switch. I know he's not going to stay in, so I go out into my Infernape, go for the U-turn, out into Terrakion, which is a threat to a lot of his teams. So I go for the Stone Edge here, predicting him to go out to Xatu or something, or something else to take it, but I just go for the Stone Edge, take out that Tentacruel, and that's actually like a threat to my, well, not a threat, but a wall to my Infernape taken care of. So he goes for the superpower as I switch into Hippowdon, who absolutely walls that max HP, max defense. Definitely going to take hits like that from Mammoth all day long. And now he goes out into his Breloom as I go for the Ice Fang, which takes him down to 16% HP, but the Poison Heal will bring him back up to 25, I think, or 23. So he goes for the Spore. This is the only thing I really wanted to get put to sleep. I don't want Deoxys to sleep. I don't want my Breloom to sleep, my Terrakion, or my Infernape to sleep. So I just leave in my Hippowdon as sleep fodder and go out to my Deoxys defense. And he makes a really stupid play here and goes for the Substitute. What he doesn't know is obviously that Sandstorm hits before Toxic Heal, so he's going to get taken out by the Sandstorm with his own sort of misplay. He goes for the Toxic on my Deoxys defense. I go to my Xatu and go for the Seismic Toss, which is going to do decent damage. I think this part is where it stalls here, so I'm going to like continuously go for Seismic Toss, I think. And he goes for Roost, which is just, you know, rinse and repeat every turn. So, yeah, he goes for it again there, goes for it again there, goes for it again there. And I just switch out to my Infernape eventually and go for the Fire Punch. Actually, I get taken out by his Xatu with the move. I can't remember what it is. I think it's just from toxic damage. So, I go to my Infernape then, take it out with a Fire Punch. I don't know why I switched here, but then I realized that his Mamoswine is Scarfed. Obviously, it's Scarfed if he switches into Infernape. Because I know that Mamoswine is not going to outspeed Infernape. So, he goes out to his Blissey now, and I think this is another stalling part where he just continuously goes for soft-boiled as I go for Earthquake. He goes for Aromatherapy first, then I don't wake up until the next turn after he goes for soft-boiled. So let me just see if that's what happens, and pretty sure that is what happens. It's just me continuously going for Earthquake while he goes for soft-boiled and stuff. So we'll just see once I wake up. I know I wake up eventually, but yeah, I think he goes for Seismic Toss too every once in a while just to get some damage off. So he goes for Seismic Toss, I go for the EQ. I go for Stealth Rocks first, then I go for the EQ, and it's pretty much EQ soft-boiled for the next few turns. Actually, he goes for Toxic, and he just decides to Toxic Stall me, so, you know, that sucks. Toxic Stalling always sucks, it's really annoying, but there's the EQ, and yeah, I think every turn is just soft-boiled, and then I switch out eventually. I think it's like 2 turns, and I switch out, go to my Infernape, as he goes for the soft-boiled. So I predict him to go for soft-boiled, go to Infernape, and AI, Choice Banded, Iron Fisted, I think Iron Fist boosts close combat, I'm not sure, but it takes out his Blissey with 1 hit. That was obviously Univito code just because of the Choice Band. Even without the Choice Band, I'm pretty sure it was a clean 1-hit KO anyway. So, I get damaged here by the Sandstorm. I know he's Choice Scarfed, so I'm going to switch out into my my Hippowdon just so I can get the free switch into Terrakion after this. And it's pretty much a good game at this point because my Terrakion's going to outspeed his Mamoswine because I'm Choice Scarfed as well. I'm going to be able to take him out with the close combat. I just get some residual damage in with the Life Orb. Or not the Life Orb, the Ice Fang. Wow, where did I get Life Orb from? I got residual damage in with the Ice Fang. I still have Breloom left, which will be a threat to his Mamoswine as well. So just go for a close combat. Take that out with Terrakion. This last Pokemon is Skarmory, which obviously is going to get whooped by my Infernape. But I decided to go for the close combat with my Terrakion, bring him down to a little bit more HP. And then he's going to go for the Brave Bird, take himself down to 2%. It doesn't even take me out. And I can just finish him off with a close combat. So that was not a bad battle at all. Just the stalling parts really annoyed me. But there does tend to be some stalling in some parts of Pokemon matches. So let's move on to battle number 3, which I believe is an NU match. So let's see how it goes. Alright, so the final of my 3 battles here is against Howard Palace, which is actually a pretty cool name, so props to that guy for having a pretty awesome name. And as you can see, my NU team is sort of the same as before. It had to be a little bit restructured because Kingino has gone up to OU, or not OU, obviously not OU, it's gone up to RU, which means I've had to change around a bit. I've decided to put in a Pick Club Marowak, and I realized that if I had a Baton Pass team, or if I decide to make a Baton Pass team that Marowak would definitely be the Pokemon I baton pass onto, or even if I just put a Ninja skin and gave this Marowak some speed, because if this thing hits, it hits hard, no matter what the Pokemon. So you're going to see that now in this battle, which is going to start right about now. So I'm going to lead off with said Marowak because it's such a powerhouse, and he leads off with his Rotom Fan, goes for the trick. I don't care about being Choice Scarfed. I'm going to go, well actually I do a bit because of the Kick Club would have definitely made sure that I one-hit KO'd his Rotom Fan, but anyway, he gets out to his Golem as I go for the Rock Slide again. And I'm actually annoyed that now that I think about it, I'm really annoyed that I lost the Kick Club, because the Kick Club is like really awesome with Marowak, obviously. So he goes for the Stealth Rocks. I decided to set up rocks on my own with Piloswine. As he goes for the EQ, it doesn't do a lot of damage. I know that an EQ I do to him is going to do a lot more, and I get the crit and take him out one hit. So there you go, Golem. How did you like that? So he goes out to his Clamperl, and I know he's going to go for the Shell Smash. And I still think one Earthquake is going to do a lot of damage to this thing. I believe it does actually take it out. So yeah, it does. So way to go. You just wasted a turn getting your Clamperl totally demolished. So he goes out to Linoon. And I know that Linoon can be a threatening Pokemon, so I go for the Ice Shard just to get some residual damage off while he goes for the Belly Drum. I don't know what, well, I knew he was going to go for Extreme Speed, and I don't think that I think I was going to go for Ice Shard, but he goes for Extreme Speed. Obviously, that's what Linoon does. So I go to my Weezing, and I know Weezing is going to absolutely absorb one of these things, and I live with 2% HP, get into the Sludge Bomb, take out his Linoon, and by then it is pretty much a good game, because the rest of his Pokemon can't do much to me. He goes out to his Life Heart. That's going to go for the Dark Pulse, I think, and take me out. So again, not too bad. I do have my Porygon to absolutely wall special attacks, which is what it does. So he goes for the Thunder Wave, which is kind of stupid because I believe this thing is analytic. So I go for the Thunder Wave, and that's going to take off a massive near half HP. Goes for the Dark Pulse, does absolutely jack. Luckily for him, I get fully paralyzed, and he's able to get another Dark Pulse in. This time he flinches me, I think. Or I get paralyzed again, and then the next turn he flinches me. I remember getting pretty mad about this because Porygon was able to wall his his Life Heart pretty well. So he goes, this time he flinches me. Or no, he doesn't. Alright, he just gets paralyzed except for the last hit where I get a discharge, and never mind. Don't know what I was thinking. So by this point, it's good game. So all I have to do is go to Marowak, which is Choice Scarfed, and finish off his Rotom Fan with a Rock Slide. And that is, yeah, as I said, it's good game. So Rock Slide is going to take that out, and then his Volbeat can't do anything to Marowak, so he just decides to, he goes for an attack, I think. He goes for Baton Pass, and I go for the Rock Slide, which misses, and he just decides to run away and forfeit. So, again, pretty good battles. They were all victories. Got pretty lucky on some, but it happens. And yeah, so, good stuff. I'll see you guys for more Pokemon Showdown shortly enough, so see you then!